Hello and thank you for watching Kaluna Creations. My name's Heather and I'm going to be teaching you today how to make a fabric wallet, rather like this one. And then in the inside we've got some pockets to put all your cards in and also a big pocket at the back to put your notes. Now if you are a complete beginner, I have done a separate video if you want to follow this link here, or if you're on a mobile you might have to search for it. It's just to show you what equipment that you'll be needing. The only additional bits that you'll be needing for this is some Velcro to do our little tab. Alright, so some hook and loop. Other than that, that's everything you're going to need. So if you'd like to carry on watching, I'll let you know what measurements you'll be needing for the fabric. So for this one, we've got a piece of fabric that is 22 centimeters by 11 centimeters, and this is your outer part to the wallet. And then we've got another piece that's identical size, so 22 by 11, and that will be your lining. And then we have also got a piece of fabric that is 22 centimeters by 10 centimeters, so a little bit shorter than the last one. And this is going to make our main pocket for the wallet. We have also got a piece of fabric that is 22 centimeters by 7 centimeters. And we've got 3 of those. They are going to make up our pockets on the inside. And the last one is 6 centimeters by 5 centimeters. This makes our little tab. And that's it. Now this wallet I am making out of old exhibition fabric. So all of these pieces were once up in an exhibition hall somewhere. Now, I very much doubt that you've got unwanted exhibition fabric hanging around your house. So I would recommend that you can use any, to be honest. Maybe not a stretchy material like a t-shirt or anything like that, but if you do have curtains or tablecloths or bed linen, anything like that, that would work really, really well for this wallet. And that way you're doing your bit for the environment too, rather than buying new. Right, so I'm going to start prepping all of these now. And if you'd like to keep watching, and I'll show you what to do. So with this one, there is a fair amount of ironing involved. But by doing so, it's going to make our lives a lot easier further down the line. So what we're going to do is grab one of our smaller internal pockets, so the card pocket, and we're going to roll down the top centimetre like that, and either clip it or pin it down, and then do that again in the centre. It doesn't want to be my friend. There we go. And again on this far end. Like that. Now that means that when we take it over to the ironing board, we can just literally iron that flat and it'll make our lives a lot easier. We can top stitch along there and it'll look really neat and nice. Now we're going to do it to all 3 internal pockets. I have already clipped those just to save you watching me do all 3. And we're also going to do it to the top larger pocket as well. So this was the one that was 10 centimetre tall, not the 11 centimetre. So doing exactly the same, just folding down by 1 centimetre along the top. And then we are also, whilst we got our iron hot, going to fold our fabric tab in half and iron it down there. so that it's got the pattern on the outside both ways. And then literally just put some hemming tape or wonder web, whatever you want to call it, in the centre of this and iron it flat so it fixes both sides together. And then once we've done that, we're ready to do some sewing. Now I've wonder webbed or hemming taped this flat and all glued together now. So what we want to do is just trim it down to the correct size now. We oversized it slightly just in case it didn't stick down properly. So what we want to do is just take the edge off on the one side and on the top as well. Actually, I might use that as the top. I like that bit. So just line it up straight on there and then just chop off the excess. Like that. And that way you end up with a nice neat finish all the way along. Now if you grab a chunk of your hook Velcro, we want it to be on this side. So we want that bit visible. So therefore I'm sticking it on the other side here. You don't have to use self-adhesive Velcro. I'm only using it simply because that's what I use to stick exhibition graphics to shell scheme. So if you are just using normal Velcro, so not self-adhesive, then just either pin or clip it onto here, ready for when you sew it. So now, what we're going to do is top stitch quite close to the edge, all the way along here, down here, and back again. And what that'll do is just hold this piece of Velcro in place, so it's not going to actually come off anywhere. Now before we want to assemble everything, we want to make sure we've got a piece of Velcro on the outer part, and we don't want any of the stitching showing. So what you do, grab your tab with your Velcro attached. If you imagine it's going to be attached into the fabric like that, and then it's going to fold over the wallet and go like that. So what you want is your Velcro to line up with this chunk here. So if you just place this a little bit higher up over here, just to give you a guide, grab your ruler and place it on top. And because we've done it at 11 centimeters, the center part is going to be at 5.5. So if you grab your Velcro, the loop Velcro this time, and place it so that it is 5.5 in and lines up with your tab like that. So it looks a bit like that. Now I'm using self-adhesive again because that's my graphic stock, but if you're just using your normal stuff, pop it in and then just pin it in the right place, like that. Now what you want to do is take it over to the sewing machine and use a white thread or a black thread if you're using black Velcro, and just go all the way around the edge with your sewing machine, and then I'll show you what to do next. There we have it. So we've sewn our Velcro on, but we've got 2 threads hanging out the front and a couple behind. So just pull them through to the back by just giving it a bit of a tug and pulling that loop through on both sides. So that's that one, and the second one. Oh, I'm going for the wrong one there. It's that one. With a nice big loop. Literally just pull it through, like that. So that way we've got all 4 threads on this side. We're just going to knot that just so that it doesn't unravel. Do that a couple of times, like so, and then trim off the excess. Even though it's going to get hidden, we don't want it accidentally poking out anywhere, like that. And that's that bit prepped now. So we've ironed down the first centimetre on all of these. Now all we need to do is top stitch along the top. So go as close as you can to the edge here. I tend to just run down the side of my presser foot on the sewing machine. And there's no need to go forwards, backwards at the start and finish on these because they're all going to get caught inside the centre of our wallet. So literally just run a line of stitching all the way down all 4 of these. Okay, so there's all our pockets with our top stitching on. So the next stage is assembling all of these. So simply get your larger pocket and then one of the smaller ones and place it just so that you can just about see the top of your stitching on there. And what we're going to do, if you've got a card handy, is place the card roughly where you're going to want it to pop out of the pocket, like that. And we're going to simply stitch along the bottom here, going, no need to go forwards and backwards at the start because that's all going to get caught in the side seams. So literally just do one line of stitching along there. And then once that's in, get your next pocket and do exactly the same again. So just put in one line of stitching going along the bottom. Now we're not going to add this third pocket in yet, and I'll show you why once I've sewn these 2 in. Okay, so as you can see, I've sewn in those 2 now, like so. Now the last flap will obviously go along the bottom like that. But before we do that, what we want to do is simply fold this over in half just to give us a guide of where that centre point is. There we go. Because we just want to sew all the way down here because that's going to make the 2 compartments for your cards. We do want to go forwards and backwards at the start, but we don't need to bother at the bottom, alright, because that's again going to get caught when we go round and put the lining and then things in. And there we go. A line of stitching in the middle. Now my sewing machine was very good to me and it's threaded this one through to the wrong side already. So all I need to do is trim it. If, however, your machine has been normal and you've still got a thread on this side, you'll have to pull it through and then knot it and then just chop it off then. So we're at the assembly stage. So get all your other pieces of fabric. And what you want to do is grab your lining piece and place this on the bottom, like so. Now if you're right-handed, you're going to want the tab on this side. If you're left-handed, pop it on the other. But I'm right-handed, so I'm popping it this side with the Velcro side down. And you want to be putting it, again, centrally to here, so 5.5. So that's there. And then you want to grab your outer fabric upside down with your Velcro on this side, so the opposite side to your tab, and place that on top, like so. Now at every crucial place, i.e. where your tab is going to be, and then a couple of times along the side. Just pin or clip it so that it doesn't wriggle around. The exhibition fabric is notoriously slippy and it will go all over the place. I'm expecting that, but that's fine. Now what you want to do is start at the top, so over here, around about here, and go forward backwards, and then go all the way around the edge. Your machine's going to hate you when it comes to this bit because it's so thick, but you might have to hand turn it to get it through that chunk there. Then go all the way around up to here, and then stop around about here and go forwards backwards. So we're leaving a gap at the top here. I shall go and do that and I'll show you what to do next. So now it looks like this. Now to make our life a huge amount easier, what we're going to do, on the side that's got the Velcro tab here, so the hook Velcro, and so we haven't got the tab sticking out at all. So if I show you on this side does have the tab. On this side we are going to trim it as close to that line of stitching as we dare to. Obviously if you have very fray fabric then don't go too close. But by doing this, it's going to make our lives a lot easier because our sewing machine isn't going to be trying to get through 20 billion layers of fabric. So we've done that side. Now on the other side, what we want to do is trim off all this pocket fabric, but not the tab. We don't want to trim that tab because if we can get an extra layer of stitching in there, that's a good thing. So if you hold back, in my case, the dark blue fabric, and only trim these internal pockets, so all of this lining. Which is hard because in some places there's about 8 layers of fabric. Like that. I'll show you on the other side now. This is what we're left with. So we've caught the other side, gone a little bit close to the stitching there, but we'll get that in the top stitch. Now we can, if we want to as well, trim this bit. That's personal preference. It's not going to make any difference to the end result here. But it does make it a tiny bit easier to handle. Didn't quite go through. There we go. Like that. Now on the corners where we have got some fabric left, just trim the corner. I'll just make it a little bit neater. Like that. Okay, so just because I went a little bit close to the edging there, I've just put in an extra line of stitch there. So hopefully you won't need to do that. You're going to be a lot more careful than me and you're not going to go and cut off the edge, but I did. So I've just put in some extra stitches there. So now we just need to turn it inside out. So you do that by literally just forcing everything through that hole you'd left earlier. Like so. Now because it's in a strange place, you'll find all your pockets are inside out, so just work your way along, forcing it out all the way. And hopefully it'll all begin to make a little bit more sense. There we go. That's better. And when you get to the corners, you can use a cocktail stick to make them nice and pointy. Be careful not to like shove it too hard though and force a hole in your fabric. So I'll just show you that. So it's already looking very much like a wallet, but as you can see, hello, we've still got a big gap. So what we need to do is press all this flat once you've pushed out your corners. I'm going to do these a little bit better in a second. And once it's all pressed flat, starting from here, so near where your hole is, just go all the way around all your edges. Don't go forwards and backwards at the start, and I'll show you why in a minute. And don't bother at the end either. But yeah, just put in that line of stitching all the way around just to hold it in nice and neat. And then I'll show you what to do next. And there we go. Got top stitching all the way around the edge now. And then our start and finish threads are still here. You can see they got 2 on this side and 2 on the other. So again, we just want to pull these through onto the lining side. So get your needle. Just pull them through, like you did with the other ones. Got the one, I just need the other one now. Alright, I'll just pull the same one through again. There we go, it's this side. There we go. So we've got the 4 threads on this side, and just knot them together. Said with such confidence. Me and knotting. There we go. Once and then twice. Like that. So that's what it looks like now. Now you can just trim that if you want. What I'm going to do is just poke it into the lining so that we can't see it. I'll just skip ahead so that you can see that. So there we go, we've got all the threads onto the needle. I've threaded it into the lining like that so that you can't see it on the other side. And then just give it a tug. Easy with my right hand. Just to pull all those through. Okay, so now we've pulled them all through. Makes it nice and neat there. We just need to trim this bit here. Roll the fabric. And then it goes inside. It means it generally just gives you a bit of a neater finish because you don't get the hangy threads coming out. And there we have it. And we're done. An awesome fabric wallet with fastening and pockets to put all your cards and notes in. Now if you do love this particular wallet, or even its friend from earlier, this one, you'll be glad to know that they will be available to buy on my website. I'll put the web address in the description below to make it nice and easy for you to find. And all the items on there, half of the price does actually go to charity as well. So not only do you get a really cool wallet, you will be raising money for charity too. Now if you did enjoy this video, then please do like and subscribe. That way every time I put on a new video, you'll get a notification to let you know that there are new tutorials out there, and hopefully it'll inspire you to try something new. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye.